it's Nikki of Nikki's Homemade Crafts, and today we're going to do part 3 of the Multi-Stitch Mystery Crochet Along. You're going to learn one more new stitch, and then we're going to put the entire thing together after learning 3 stitches and making 6 pieces in total. So, are you ready for the zigzag puff stitch? Yes, we're going to continue with the puff stitch because it works great, and I want to show you different varieties and how you can use the puff stitch. So you first learned how to do the puff stitch in rounds, then you learned how to do it with the jasmine stitch, and then today you're going to do it in a zigzag. And yes, we're also going to do a little bit of decreases for the zigzag stitch, but no worries, it's very easy. So this was part 1. You made it in 2 different colors. This is part 2. You made it in 1 color, but 2 pieces, of course. And now you're going to pick whichever color you didn't pick it for the last stitch. So I'm going to pick this stitch, although in the beginning I'm going to use pink because it's a little easier to see on camera, but I am using the red color for the last stitch. Remember, the written instructions for this tutorial is down below, so there will be a link down below. You will click on that. It's going to take you over to our website, and it will have ads with the written instructions. So keep that in mind. It's not printable, but if you prefer a printer-friendly version, come join the Crochet Club. You can join as a trial member to test out the membership. You will get access only to this pattern for 7 days, and you also get access to the really fun community, meaning the private Facebook group. But if you join us a monthly, quarterly, annual member immediately, 80% are annual member, by the way, then you'll get access to over 500 ad-free patterns, weekly live tutorials teaching exactly what you want to be taught, and also Zoom chats twice a month. Oh my gosh, we have a blast. Quick reminder, I am using We Crochet's yarn, which is Brava Tweed yarn. This is worsted yarn, as well as Heatherly yarn, which is also worsted yarn. I'm using both of these about equally. Well, maybe a little bit more of the pink, since the jasmine stitch uses a little bit extra yarn. And we're also using a 4mm crochet hook. For part 3, which is where we're on, I'm adding 1 additional yarn to it. This is kind of optional. I think it's going to look great with it. So I'm going to add this one onto it at the very end. You won't need much of it. You can easily just use one of these yarns if you prefer. I think I'm going to like the effect of the furry yarn, but again, it's up to you. I believe they actually changed their name to fairy yarn, possibly. It's not called Fable Fur anymore, but it's the same yarn. They just changed the name. It's also from We Crochet. This one is the color Ice Bear. And we're also going to need polyfill and potentially some fabric if you want to add some fabric around the polyfill so it doesn't peek through the final piece. But again, that's optional depending on what you're going to use the final product for. There's also options to make it into something slightly different. Let's first learn the zigzag stitch so that way you can actually finish this piece. It's going to look like this at the very end. You can tell that red can be hard to see on camera. I will show you how to do the decreases in red though, but that's still going to be fine. I'm going to make it a little brighter so that way you can see it, but I'm going to start out with pink so that way you can see how to do the beginning of it so that you're very clear on how to do this stitch. It's very easy. I believe it's the easiest of all of them. And you're going to start with a multiple of 2 plus 3. That is what you need to do. But for this part 3, you're going to do a chain of 19 to make sure that you have the right amount of chains or the width of it. Okay, so this dimension right here needs to be the same as the square. So for me, that is a chain of 19 in order to get to that. Okay, so chain of 19. My little swatch is going to have a little less. So I have here a few extra less chains just to show you how to do this stitch. Okay, we're going to start with, we started on the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to crochet a double crochet right into it. And now we're going to crochet a puff stitch into the stitch before the double crochet stitch, which would be right here. So that little chain right there, the one right before the double crochet, is where you insert your hook into. So right in here, go into it, and make your puff stitch as normal, which means yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and one more time, yarn over and pull up a loop until you have 7 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all, and chain of 1. Okay, you're now going to skip a stitch. Keep in mind, there's a double crochet right here. It's not that one that you're skipping. You're going to skip this one right here. Okay, so you're going to go into the following one. So let me point out it again. This is the double crochet chain that we used. Okay, skip one. You're going to go into that one. So make a double crochet stitch. Now you're going to go into the chain before and make another puff stitch. So right in here, make your puff stitch until you have 7 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through all and chain of 1. You're now going to repeat this until the end. So skip one, go in the next one, double crochet stitch, and make a puff stitch right before into that chain. Yarn over, pull through all, chain of 1. Let's do it one more time, and at the very last stitch we're just going to place a double crochet stitch. So after you skip the stitch, double crochet stitch, make your puff in the chain before, and then after your chain of 1 you're going to go into the very last one and you're going to make a double crochet stitch. That's kind of your edge stitch, just so to make sure everything is clean. So this is row 1. Now you're going to turn and make a chain of 2. It counts as a stitch. That's your edge stitch right here. You could also make an alternative turning chain, but I think it looks cleaner with a chain of 2 here. You are now going to go into this area right here. So let me point to it a little bit better. The area where you finished your puff, right in here. That's where you're going to place your double crochet stitch. Okay, so go into that little hole and make your double crochet stitch. You're now going to make your puff into the area next to it. So it's kind of below it, I guess, into that space right here. That's where you're going to go into to make your puff. So go into that, go around that double crochet every time, right? And make your puff stitches like so. Yarn over, pull through all 7 loops, yarn over, pull through. And now you're going to go into the next one. So the next one is right here. So make your double crochet stitch right into that little hole, and then around the double crochet stitch but below it, right into that space, is where you're going to crochet your puff into until you have 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all, chain of 1. And now you're going to repeat this until the very end, and you're going to finish up with a chain, with a double crochet at the very end here, right on top of that chain of 2 right there. And then you're going to repeat this. You're going to do this until it looks like this, where you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows using the zigzag puff stitch. And now we're going to do some decreases. All right, now let's do the decreasing part of it. So we're going to do it in a way where it kind of doesn't create a gigantic gap. So let's do this. Okay, so you have your chain of 2 in the beginning. We're now going to do a decrease over 2 stitches doing the double crochet stitch. So 2 double crochet stitches together. Go in here and in here. So let me show you. So go into this hole and make a half finished double crochet stitch. Then go in here and do the same. So yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through 2, and now you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's a decrease right here. Okay, but you're now going to go into this space right here and make your puff stitch as normal. So go down here and pull up your loop each time until you have 7 on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 7, and chain 1. So you can see now how we don't have a giant gap over here, but we made a decrease. So it's like a double crochet decrease. Now you're going to do your zigzag puff stitches all the way until the end, until you have 2 left. And I'll show you how to do the decrease over those 2 stitches. So you're going to do the next one as normal until you have 1 left. And we're going to do kind of a decrease over that. Okay. So right here is a regular 1. So the second to last is a regular 1. So just like so. And now we're going to do a decrease over the last, so which means you're going to do a double crochet decrease. So you're going to go into this hole and then on the edge, and you're making a decrease using double crochet stitches. So here's one half finished double crochet stitch, here is another, and then yarn over, pull through all three, and that decreases is right there. So it's similar to this one over here, just that over this one we made a puff stitch around it. So now we're going to turn and we're going to do this again. So let's repeat what we did on the other side in the beginning. So chain of 2, and you're going to go into here and into the very first hole right here, and you're going to make a half finished double crochet stitch, go into the next one, half finished double crochet stitch until it looks like this, yarn over, pull through all three, and now you're going to make your puff stitch around this one right here, so the last one, and that finishes up that stitch. And then you made your decrease right here. Okay, so now you're going to repeat this until the very last one, and then you're going to do that decrease again, and I'll show you again how to do that. All right, so there is one more left right here. Okay, so you're going to make a decrease over that, so you're going to go into that hole, yarn over and pull through, and then go into this right here, into the very last one, and also make a half finished double crochet stitch, and then yarn over, pull through all, and that is your decrease on that side. Okay, so that way you decrease on both sides, and this is how your piece looks like. You're going to make a second one, so that way you have 2 of them right there, and now it's time to put it all together. Now it's time to assemble it. So you're going to take your pieces and assemble it like this. So you're going to have 2 of these, they're identical on this side, so you're going to put your square in the center and align these so they're on one of the edges on each side. So this one here, this one there, and you can kind of tell now what we're making, right? So this will be one of them. Then you're going to do the exact same thing with this side. You're going to align them, and you're going to sew it together on each side, so here and here. And at the very end, you're going to take, once this is done, so let's pretend that I already did this. And by the way, how you're going to sew it together is really up to you. I'm going to use the mattress stitch to sew this together. There are plenty of different versions. You can even crochet it together. You can use the whip stitch, many different varieties and how you can connect these. And then at the very end, you're going to crochet all the way around. I'm going to be using this yarn to crochet all the way around. I'm just going to take, you know, like every other stitch, since this is like bulky yarn, so probably every other stitch I'm going to crochet a single crochet stitch and connect the front layer with the back layer. Make sure that the right side is on the outside because the back side looks different, of course, right? And you can stuff a pillow inside here, a pillow insert. I didn't find one that fits this size. There are many different heart inserts out there, but not a smaller version like this. So you can just add polyfill on the inside if you don't like it poking out, because some of the areas may have some holes, like the Zigzag one has a little bit bigger holes on certain areas. If you are not a fan of that, you can totally add, create a fabric lining that looks like this, and then stuff the polyfill on the inside before you put your crochet around it, or, put the insert into the crochet and then finish crocheting all the way around. I haven't decided yet how it's going to look like in terms of whether I'm going to add fabric or not. So for now, I'm going to sew this together and crochet most of it around it and then see how it looks like with my polyfill. You can decide however you like to do it. And on top of that, keep in mind that you do not have to make a pillow. You can totally make something else. You have different variety of pieces. There's many different things you could do with it. Now, what I'm thinking of could be One, it could be a bag. If you wanted to have a heart bag, for example, obviously you can tell it's a heart, right? You could make a heart bag for someone if you like. Now, in that case, I definitely recommend adding like some kind of lining on the inside, because otherwise you will stretch your crochet a little bit too much, and the lining typically stabilizes it a little bit. And then you could like add, like keep this open, you know, this area, and then add like a little, you know, straps on both sides, and then you have a little bag if you want. There is also the option to turn this into, let's say, a basket, for example. It'll look a little, you know, different considering you use different yarn colors, but you could be turning this into a little basket if you wanted to, right? So you can take this up, maybe, you know, switch out one with the other. So for example, it would probably be more like this, you know, if you wanted to. You could turn it into a little tiny basket. There are many varieties of things that you could do. You could just combine these two and have a little pouch. Maybe this, have this a little pouch, just add a zipper on it, and then maybe something else for this, maybe another pouch. You could turn this into 3 different pouches. There are so many different things that you could do using these pieces. I'm going to turn it into a pillow, but I would love to know what you are going to do. So let me finish my version so I can show it to you with a snap, and then you can tell me in the comments down below in the meantime how you're going to finish it. So let me show you my version. Here we go. And here it is. Isn't it so cute? I love the little edge all the way around. And I didn't add any lining to it because I don't think it was absolutely necessary. You can a little bit see the polyfill kind of peeking through on this side, but it's not super bad. So this is pretty filled, and this is pretty filled. This is definitely filled. It looks really, really nice. I don't know which side I like more. On camera, it's really hard to tell which side looks prettier because cameras are not a fan of red, but both sides look really cute. I love the pink side. I love the red side. They look really, really nice. It's a cute, adorable little pillow. Now from this side, you can maybe see it a little bit more. This is the red, and yes, obviously you can tell there's lines right here because that's where I've sewn it together, but it looks just so cute. I don't know why. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Mickey Mouse. I don't know why, but it's so adorable. I love the little heart. I love how it's shaped like a heart, and of course the fluffy side all the way around is perfect. Now, are you going to finish it like a reversible heart pillow? I would love to know. Or are you going to finish it maybe as a bag or as a basket, or maybe something completely different that I didn't mention? I mentioned, I think, even a pouch. There's so many different options of what you can do with your little swatches that you made using the puff stitch in a variety of different ways, in rounds, as the jasmine stitch, and as a zigzag. I would love to know how you are going to finish it and how you enjoyed this adorable pillow in the end. Now I want to see yours. Remember, there is a hashtag right here. It is very important that you're going to use it when you post into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki, because that way you not only have a chance to be celebrated by me, but you qualify for the giveaway. We're going to have giveaway prizes for 3 winners, so be sure to post your pictures on time by 10 a.m. Pacific time on the 18th, which is tomorrow. So the 18th of January 2025. So make sure you post your pictures on time, because at 12 o'clock Pacific time on the same day, we're going to have a mega multi-stitch party. Oh, I'm so excited. So if you love stitches like this and want to learn more about crochet stitches, then you better show up to the multi-stitch party. Oh, it's going to be so good. So I'm not only going to talk about different types of stitches and give away prizes for the winners, but I'm also giving additional prizes away. So even if you didn't finish it, come join us. Everyone is invited because we have prizes to give away for everyone. So will you be there? I hope you will. Anyways, I'll see you guys there. I will post the link to the party at the very end of this video, so be sure to watch till the end. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment down below, share the video with your crochet besties, subscribe, and hit the bell to get a notification next time I publish a new video or go live. I'll see you at the big party. Until then, bye!